Why stay earthbound when prosperity awaits you in the stars? Come to Halcyon, the only colony on the edge of the frontier, owned and operated by corporations. A trip of 10 short years will feel like mere minutes, thanks to the comfort and safety of your very own hibernation chamber. You'll wake up in a perfect society designed to maximize your productivity, with guaranteed full employment. With only a minor term of service, you will become the master of your own destiny when you go out of this world to the Halcyon colony.
I already hate the way this sounds.
Hundreds of thousands of colonists left adrift out here forever, just to keep from damaging the board's bottom line. Disgraceful.
Maintain the money. Alright, let's see. Oh, just put everything up. Yeah. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. I can. But I want to engage skill.
Yes, I should pick someone likely to survive a hail of gunfire. If we're ever captured, I'll let you do the talking.
Shit. Okay, stealth.
You certainly know your way around a MacPic.
Oh, so much reading. Service technician. Okay, let's see about how they sound. Food additive tester. Jesus Christ. Sub sous chef. That exists. That's a scientist assistant level 0 class A. Med tech. Tall small team mascot. Jesus Christ. Farmer dirt. Plasma damage, increase medical, toss ball team mascot, higher inspiration, less corrosion damage, foods give me a little more plant. What the fuck's N-ray? What? Elevator operations specialist. Yeah? What you gonna do about it, eh? What you gonna do? I don't know. Which one? What are you thinking? Elevator or factory?
You must have had a vivid imagination.
Not really. Really? Just high just... I guess I'm picking factory worker. No. Oh, Jesus Christ. Do I look like that? I also have a long ass neck for some reason. No. Yes. What's the kick? What the fuck's the kick? Ah! Oh! Oh! Ah! Ugh. Really? Can we, like, fucking... zoom in, please? Zoom in. Oh, no. Oh, let's see what the hair is. Hold up. Sorry. Let's pick the stuff with that I could. Shut the fuck up. Nah, I'm gonna make meat because I'm bland and boring now. Was it? Playing on normal because I have no idea what I'm getting myself into. Just give me straight black. No, pick orange. Weird, stupid colors. No, come on, give me something that says balding but beautiful. I could get. Oh, yes. Yes! These bushy? Yeah, pretty skinny. A little bit of scruff ain't bad. Come on, scruff. Facial hair color. Arbitrary as F. Age. What? That doesn't do shit. Let's go. Yeah. Dirt. Ah. Makeup. Yes, you are right. I'm taking that. Emo bro is correct. Continue with the face, cheeks. Should I just keep it like this, or should I actually like waste an hour? Oh god, I really want to see how this looks. Did you hear about the DLC that's coming out? Oh, that sucks. Yeah, apparently a lot of people think it's worth another gameplay. Well, potentially worth another play. Size. Is there just like I just love how this looks. Wow, that's just so. Apparently, this game warrants multiple playthroughs. That's horrifying. Okay, let's try it. We're gonna keep this shit. What's your name? Ian Langstrom. I'm Man-Bat's son. Alright, next. What is that?
Looks to be your lucky day, my friend.
Please power down your engines and prepare to be...
Not likely, bootlickers. Initiate skip jump.
Oh shit, frames are dropping.
Status. Structural integrity down 25%. Power levels down to 9%. Skip drive.
Shit.
inoperable.
What'd you do, boy?
Ah, there you are. Wondering what's going on, eh? Bit of bad news there, I'm afraid. Your colony ship was inexplicably knocked out of skip space and forced to complete its journey at sublight speeds. This means that you and every other colonist on the Hope have been in suspended animation for 70 years, give or take.
Nice job.
Normally, reviving someone after so long leads to some quite horrifying results. It's called explosive cell death, but it's really more of a liquefaction. Something wrong? Oh, yes, well, not to worry. I've pumped your body full of a special concoction I devised to keep you from dying so horrifically. Hopefully at all, but I guess we'll see, yes? Unfortunately, I used the last of my chemical supplies saving you. I know it's a lot to ask, but I must have your help securing more if we're to save the rest of your fellow colonists. I'd see it done myself, of course, but the board has a sizable bounty on my head.
Nice job.
Now, my ship is inoperative, but I've managed to hire a smuggler to help you out. He'll be... Oh, I see we're in position. Good luck!
Belong to other people's crime for reputation. Corporatopia? More like fuck off.
Can you hear me? Is this thing working? Ah, there you are. Now, where were we? Oh,
Just a second. No use. Even if I can't lock it down, so I go. Let's see how much this makes it. Okay.
yes, the smuggler. His name is Hawthorne, and he should be waiting for you at the landing site. He's to be your chauffeur, so to speak. Not to worry, I'm told he's a specialist. Dashing gunslinger, one-of-a-kind ship, that sort of thing. You'll like him, I'm sure. I've also outfitted you with a simple wireless monitor, so I can track your progress. I'll check in with you as soon as you land. Good luck. All the colonists are counting on you.
You done? How do I know what to look at?
Ah, you've landed. Good. Hawthorne should be close by. What in law's name? Is that him? Oh, that idiot. I told him to plant the beacon and move away, not stand there holding it. Oh well, no sense in letting his ship go to waste.
Morons.
Hawthorne won't mind you taking his ship. Better you than the board, huh? Not sure. Sure, I trusted the fellow. Might have gone after the bounty on my head. Shame about the whole squashing thing. Nasty way to go.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Can I get your shit then? Wow. Wow. Still some shitty frames, man. What the fuck? What are these?
You've been frozen for a while. There's bound to be unforeseen side effects.
The fuck was that? How deep is that drop? Ah! Just breathe in the health, bro.
Hey, you, come here.
What do you want?
You've tried the best now. Now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Oh, wow, that stings. Looks like the bleeding stopped. I owe you one. Hope you don't mind me omitting this little exchange from my report. Spacer's choice doesn't like us accepting outside help.
Of course.
Better, thanks to you. I might have bled out on my own. Or worse, had to go begging the boss for some Adrena time. We were out on patrol. I saw a marauder camp up in the hills. Thought I could take him. Then my gun misfired. Right through my side. I mean, what are the odds of that, right? Just barely scraped by with my life. Crawled in here and blocked off the exit with those canisters. Investigating an illegally grounded ship. All spacecraft must arrive and depart from authorized landing pads. That's board law, that is. Some hull had grounded their spacecraft out in the open. That's a real good way to attract marauders. See those canisters by the entrance? Marauders come sniffing around in here, and I can take them all out with a single shot. Not bad, huh?
You're bled to death.
Yeah, okay. You look like you know your way around a gun.
We got a
Got some
gun.
spare ammo, not counting the bullet in my side. Here, you can have my saber too, for patching me up and all.
Yeah.
All Spacer's choice weapons are now 30% less likely to malfunction. You've tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Yes, nailed it that time. You hit your head or something? You're in Emerald Vale. We're a Spacer's choice community. Edgewater's a little ways down. Prettiest place in the Vale. Be sure to stop by a provisioner's for a can of our famous salt tuna.
Yeah.
The Hope? Is that some sort of fancy new drug? Are you with Auntie Cleo or something? Don't take this the wrong way or nothing, but I'm not allowed to fraternize with Cleo workers. Company policy.
Fuck this. No, I don't think I will. Or
Damn it, my ears! Oh, what just happened? Can you hear me? What in the hell? This...
due to complications stemming from extended hibernation, your brain processes time differently. What the fuck? Time to think as well as take action.
here before you get yourself killed. Don't know where you came from, stranger, but you best keep your head down. There's marauders hereabouts, and worse, landing violators. Gall on that rung leech. Landing in the Vale without using an official Spacer's Choice landing pad. I'd slap him with a fine if it weren't for all these marauders shambling about. Really? How is he? Shouldn't have done that. Spacer's Choice family ain't authorized to receive medical aid from off-brand physicians. We'll see him back to Edgewater, just as soon as I cross these marauders off with the swift, cost-efficient fury that's made Spacer's Choice the most trusted brand in personal defense. I just, you know, need a couple of winks to catch my breath. Stretch my legs some. Well, sometimes. Management's real good at cost-benefit analysis. But, seeing as I'm the acting manager in this situation, you know what? You're right. It's time we cross those marauders off, find whoever owns that ship, and file a full report. Then it's gonna be fucking laminated.
I want that ship.
Here we go.
No, you gonna die.
Take him down!
Was this helpful?
Thank you!
Just,
Reloading!
just, you know.
Need some company ammo.
Can I get anything from this? I guess I'll take it. I'm hoping they do.
Please be informed that this vessel contains no valuable plunder. Unauthorized access of spacefaring vessels is a crime. Please submit yourself to the authority. Hello, Marauder. I am Ada, the autonomous digital astrogator of this vessel. Please be informed that I am authorized to use violent retribution against unwanted solicitors.
Like who?
Please return any misappropriated equipment and exit this vessel in an orderly fashion. Failure to do so will result in your immediate destruction.
Shut up.
Jettison procedures initiated. Please engage in airlocks. Preparing to eject all boarding parties in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are still here. My deception protocols have failed. I have been programmed to express disappointment. This vessel is the registered property of Captain Alex Hawthorne. I am incapable of accepting orders from anyone other than Captain Alex Hawthorne.
Your captain's a red smear under my escape pod. You
I
want-
understand. I will require some time to process this information. Thank you for your patience and for your honesty. I am programmed to take orders exclusively from Captain Hawthorne. If I accept your orders, then you must be Captain Hawthorne. Do you understand? Well done, Captain Hawthorne. I see your powers of deductive reasoning remain intact.
Shut up.
Unfortunately, our engine is currently inoperable. Our main drive suffered a critical power failure, and we were forced to make an emergency landing. The main drive's power regulator has been irreparably damaged and must be replaced. Astutely observed. However, the probability of locating a power regulator within a worker settlement falls within acceptable parameters of certainty. High-capacity power regulators are sometimes employed in the electrical networks of worker settlements. I have taken the liberty of printing you a new Captain's Identity cartridge.
Nice.
Please try not to lose it this time. This cartridge identifies you, Alex Hawthorne, as the registered proprietor and captain of the Unreliable. Do you understand?
What a great name for a ship.
Thank you. I appreciate your cooperation. Best of luck in your search for a power regulator. Try to stay alive this time.
I put this fucking weapon away. Skill improvements, right. Let's see. Points available 10, which means I can shove it towards something, right? Range. Defense dialogue. Melee. Defense. Yeah. Well, Fallout 4 needed a lot of things, I'll tell you that. Leadership tech. Ooh. Let's see. 73. It's all 73, what the hell? Okay. Donde? Oh. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. Oh. Oh, okay. Oh, hell yeah. Fast traveling when encumbered? Absolutely. What's in my journey? I ain't reading on that. Let's see. Bleed, knockdown, bleed.
Due to catastrophic power failure, all doors will remain on security lockdown.
Fuck you, Ada.
Say, this wouldn't happen to be your ship, would it? Because you sure walked in it like it was your ship. And if this ship is yours, well, mister, you owe Spacer's Choice a hefty fine. Afraid we gotta dock your pay.
Do you take down payments on wanted violence?
Oh, by the law. I'm so sorry. I had no idea we had an inspector coming. If you'd like to speak with my manager, I report to Constable Reyes in Edgewater. Edgewater's not too far. Just follow the road east of here, over past the cemetery. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to inspect the crime scene before I make my report.
That was great. Hi. How do I put my weapon away? Does anyone know? Why is that T? Where the fuck do I go?
Marauders, deserters, illegal landing. What is this colony coming to?
Your face, that's what it's coming to. Put this away. Ah, hi.
Whoa, hey, where'd you come from?
Your mother.
Don't go ambling out in those hills. That's Marauder territory, friend. Your pod? What are you on about? You take a bruise to the cranium? Ain't safe out here. You'd best head into town. Avail yourself of Edgewater's high walls. And low prices. Pleased to make your acquaintanceship. I'd shake your hand, but I've been hauling corpses. You don't want none of that on you. Name's Silas. Junior in humor for the town of Edgewater. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family. Definitely not the junior in humor, that's for sure. If you've got business inquiries, you should stop by Reed Thompson's office. He's up in the tower above the cannery. Head into town, follow the road. Look, you obviously ain't a worker. What's your racket? You a smuggler? Freelancer? Edgewater is a company town, board-owned and operated. That includes the cemetery. None of us own our grave sites, we rent them from the company. Renting means money. Money means paperwork. Paperwork means signatures. Some of our families become a mite delinquent in paying their dues, you see? Company policy. If it was up to me, I'd put the whole town 10 feet under, free of charge. 4 workers still haven't paid up. Phyllis, Conrad, Ludwig, and Martin Abernathy. He's a special case. You may want to twist his arm a little. He just is. Look, I don't want to get into it. Just make sure he pays up. Conrad's got a barbershop in town. Phyllis works at the cannery most hours. Abernathy... I ain't seen him in a few days. His domicile is near the cannery. You'll find him in town. All except Ludwig, that is. He's over by the landing pad. Yeah? You could look at it that way, I suppose. You could look at us and say, those Edgewater saps lost near every soul to plague. But you'd be wrong. We're survivors. Loyal company folk, brave in the wilds. Every now and again, a virulent plague sweeps through our town. That's life on the frontier, I suppose. A body grows accustomed. Hang on, I'm doing some math in my head. 20, 30, carry the 1... all my life? Work's been real good to me. Fresh air, exercise. Only problem's the paperwork. Can't get anybody to pay their gravesite fees. Former people, yeah. Marauder's been raiding my graves, you see. Hence the armed guards. Oh no. They are after the most precious loot of all. Spacer's Choice Company property. If those Marauders swipe any more bodies out of my cemetery, company's gonna dock my pay.
Oh, and and each of their fucking... Stupid! Fuck you. Fuck you. So what you looking at? Why do I need tea? If I could just do this. Mouse sensitivity is very low. finally getting 60 frames. Then I realized this is a loading screen. You ever see that guard that's like, oh, the one relative to the location of the deceased is the one who has to pay for the dues. It's like, that's dumb. Let's see. Ah.
Please don't touch anything. Your hands are probably crawling with germs.
Yep, you're a fuck.
Physical hygiene recapitulates moral hygiene. Cleanliness is next to lawfulness.
Fuck off.
No, thank you. That's quite all right. I've seen enough body parts in my line of work. I'm Conrad. You will report to me if your hair fails to meet Spacer's Choice aesthetic standards. You will also report to me in the event of your death.
Wait.
Whereupon I will clean and prepare your remains for interment.
I can't physically do that.
Ah, gravesite fees. Silas and I had talked about this at length. I thought I'd made it clear my pecuniary situation precludes the necessary restitutions.
That makes no sense.
As broke as pie crust, friend. Bitless, indigent, destitute. I simply cannot afford it. I am a blemish on the prosperity of our fair settlement. When I expire, I expect Silas to toss my body into a ditch. I have to be, if only to prepare myself for my inevitable dressing down at the hands of corporate. Tell Silas I can't afford to pay, and that I fully expect to have my medical rights revoked for this dereliction. With my apologies.
I want to do over.
Not a bad idea. But I'd need some kind of collateral. My pair of lucky clippers. No, that won't do. Your idea intrigues me, but I'm afraid I don't have anything to give Silas. I'm open to suggestions. Much obliged.
For now. Oh, okay.
What do you think you're doing? I don't have time for this.
I love that. Oh, it's so funny. Anything in here? Can you close the door, please? Close the door. No one saw shit. Oh, hello. Hey, excuse me, Conroy.
What can I do for you? Go ahead. The plague's come at us with a vengeance this year. Lost 6 workers in as many months. I wouldn't call them good workers, mind you. If they were any good, they'd have been treated. Still, it is a shame.
Ah.
Fever, chills, fatigue, aching, vomiting, an excess of phlegm, a tendency towards belly aching.
3 chances for what? What?
Company policy, friend. We don't have enough medicine to treat all of us, so we treat the best among us. Mr. Thompson's brainchild. Have you met him yet? Thoughtful-looking fellow, stares out of his office most hours.
Wow.
Edgewater has been good to me. I consider myself privileged to work here. I am never wanting for work, not since the plague started. As the good vicar says, work fortifies the spirit of a man. If you want to feel exhausted, try not having any work.
I'd be fine. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
What can I do for you? You know about Eugene? How?
I'm a mind reader.
You were probably poking around my things. I really shouldn't leave my letters sitting out in the open. Eugene's golden teeth were a family heirloom, representing 3 generations of poor dental hygiene. He took them to his grave. That's unthinkable. Eugene's body and all rare earth minerals contained therein are solely the property of Spacer's Choice.
That's fucked
I
up.
can't ask Silas to dig up a man's body and pry a few teeth loose from his jaw just to pay my bills. Can I? Yes, I suppose I must. Here you are. Gravesite papers affixed with my signature and an IOU.
Hey, bitch. Get out of my face. Or rather, I will get out of yours. You're good children.
Yes, Mr. Thompson.
No.
Whoa, did Mr. Thompson send you? Well, you tell Mr. Thompson I'll be right at my post. Tomorrow. Bright and early tomorrow. Because I'm definitely not plagued. As spry as a spring chicken. That's old Abernathy.
Nah, you ain't.
You some sort of wandering alienist? Walking into a man's own domicile, pestering him about his mental state?
Yes.
What? No. I mean, I might be. That depends on who's asking. Silas knows, doesn't he? That's why he sent you. That's why he wants me to pay up. He knows.
Oh no.
Sounds like he's already told you. You may as well hear it from me. I'm dying. I'm not long for this world. The date of my expiration is fast approaching. And soon I shall be ushered through the great cannery in the skies. It's plague. Has to be. Silas knows. He knows I got one foot in my grave, and now he wants to charge me for the other one.
3 chances for what, my bro? Shit. Baby, so get out of here.
I'll pay your fees. I don't want any trouble from Silas. But if you could see a way to freelancing for me, I could really use the help. There's a cache of anthracillin tucked away in the old community center. Powerful stuff. Stronger than what we got, anyway. I need you to break in, nab that medicine, and bring it back to me. I'll do what I can. I tried medicating myself with Adrenatime. Didn't do much for me, as far as I can tell. Anyway, I can't just buy medicine. Distribution of medicine is strictly prohibited to any workers beneath the acceptable margin of health. Company policy.
Fuck this place.
It is what it is. Town's got a limited supply of medicine. Medicine better spent on a body stronger and younger than mine. You will not find any guards within sight of that old place. Marauders, on the other hand.
Okay, that's not a problem.
I have it on good authority. There's a gang of them squatting there. I advise stepping softly. So you'll do it then?
I guess I will.
You oblige me with your haste. I think I feel the plague spreading. Oh, Law, it's in my spleen now. I can feel it. Just keep your head down when you're in there. Marauders have taken over. Probably tracking mud all over the archives. I know that, but I got nobody else to turn to. Reed would have wrote me up. Constable would have locked me up and wrote me up. Could have gone to see the good vicar, but I never did find my courage.
Mock apple juice. Why? What the fuck you sit on? Close it.
You're making a mistake working for Abernathy.
Why?
Excuse me. I'm Esther Blame, Spacer's Choice Actuary. I overheard your talk with Abernathy. I hope you're not thinking about getting him that medicine. Abernathy is a well-known hypochondriac. Anthracillin is wasted on him. You're better off selling it to me instead.
Why should I?
All I'm saying is Abernathy's worked in this town longer than some of us been alive. How do I put this gently? He's got a lot of cobwebs up in his attic. I probably shouldn't tell you. Don't want you implicated for what I'm trying to do. All right, here's a summary. A lot of sick people in this town, and we don't have the medicine to treat them all. Can't reach out to corporate without crossing a river of red tape, so I'm reaching out to you. I'm paid better than Abernathy. Whatever he's giving you, I will do you one better. That's all I can ask of you.
You the new worker? Whatever. Make it quick, Tenderfoot. I'm busy. Shit. Silas still on about that. Here, take the fees. I'd appreciate it if you didn't tell Reed I was late on my payment. Because they're not my fees and not my gravesite. Guy I worked with shot himself. I paid the bill. If you're not familiar with board law, you ought to be. Law requires delinquent gravesite fees to be paid by the deceased party's closest living relative, which meant me. Shame, though. Eugene was a good worker. Woke up one morning and put a round through his upper story. Can't imagine why. The kid was doing all right at his desk. We all thought he was an upstanding receptionist. Just between the two of us, I'm pretty shocked his weapon didn't misfire. Spacer's Choice handguns aren't the most reliable. Eugene wasn't family. Yeah, I was the closest living person relative to his body at time of death. I'm the one who found him, you see, so I pay the fines. Suicide's a crime. The legal term is irreparable damage to company property. What Eugene did to himself was vandalism. When one of your workers commits a crime, the entire town pays for it. In other words, Edgewater would have been penalized pretty hard. Whatever Eugene was worth as an asset, we would have had to pay out of pocket to Spacer's Choice.
Stupid.
Well, excuse you. I'll have you know, Eugene was an asset to us all. May his atoms be commended to the law. All I know is Silas asked me for Eugene's gravesite fees, which means he was approved for burial, which means his papers went through, which means the town's in the clear. I'm just glad to put this whole ugly affair behind me. Eugene can rest his bones in peace, and the rest of us can get on with our own lives.
Yeah, they can stick it over. Like you piece of shit. Where's the door again? Yeah, of course. Have you seen someone? There's a video. There was a video going around the time of release. Someone killing whatever his name is, the owner of this place, immediately upon after talking to him. Just put a bullet through his head, killed all the other guards, and then Parvati was like, "The fuck, bro." You can literally kill everyone. Where's Ludwig? Where is our boy? Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry. I'll just be a minute.
You had a minute. Next one comes out of your pay.
Ease off the threats, friend. I'm going.
Boss's orders. We all got quotas to make.
Hmm?
Prefab. Okay, that one's not a bad idea. Wait. Hey, motherfucker.
Thank the law. I've been requisitioning backup for months. Guess the boss finally came to his senses. You ever swung a truncheon? Let me see your rifling stance. I want to make sure you're up to snuff. I told Silas I'd pay my dues if he agreed to join the resistance. Guess this means he's finally heard the calling. I'm talking about mechanical soldier. Cold, heartless automatons made of iron and lies. Just my luck. I ask for backup and the boss sends me one of them simple folk. All right. Listen real close. Auto-mechanicals. creatures forged in the fires of malevolence. I seen them over by the old power plant, clattering about, firing at the birds, orchestrating their uprising. When the swarms of mechanicals come clanging on over that hill, where will you be? Cowering beneath your cot? Or standing shoulder to shoulder with the resistance? Go on. You ever seen the way a mechanical just stands there? Just looking at you, scanning you with its murderous oculars. Mechanicals have been programmed to eliminate the human race. They've been programmed to replace us. First, they will rob us of our jobs. And once they have taken away our livelihoods, they will take away our very lives.
Joker, are you following the Oscars? Thanks. Where's boy? Former boy. Can I keep a show?
Fancy threads. That some kind of hibernation suit? You run into any trouble? Reliable work from a freelancer. That's gonna take some getting used to. And I'll buy you a drink sometime. Suppose you've earned it. One good turn deserves another. Yeah? The colony ship? Are you talking about that old rumor? Some great big starship packed full of colonists what got lost in the aether never to be found again? Ain't heard that one since I was but a stripling. Can't say it was terribly convincing far as rumors go. There a reason you asking? Hope's just a rumor, friend. Ancient rumor at that. Maybe you've been out in the sun too long. Why don't you head over to the cantina? Get yourself some zero-G brew. It's a brew that's good for what ails you. Look, I don't know what's got you caterwauling about Hope this and Colony that, but you need to stop, or there's gonna be trouble. Trouble's in the asking. Or don't much care for folk running their mouths, spreading hoaxes and the like. Frankly, neither do I. Something I can do for you? Yeah? What about him? Yeah. Funny thing, Eugene's body ain't where it's supposed to be. The night we was supposed to commend his body to the earth, I had his grave all dug up and ready, right? And so I thought, I'll just rest my eyes a bit. When I woke up, his body was gone. Spirited away, vanished. The footprints nearby suggested that Eugene was stolen by marauders. Or he rose from the dead. Let me know if you find anything.
What's that noise?
Got anything? Video Game Pass. That looks like the most communist shit ever. I'm still jumping. I'm not going.
Something there.
Maybe I'll get what's her face in on the action. Oh, I'm here instead of okay, fine.
Gonna find you.
From now? A glass for every class. What? What, the Marauders?
Miss Holcomb, I need to explain this to you.
The grease monkey, Argo?
I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, sir. You asked why it's taking so long to fix. The answer's technical.
Don't apologize. Just try using small words for me.
The can's bust open in the oven because she's set to cook saltuna, which isn't what we've got. Mr. Thompson? I think there's someone here to see you.
Focus, Miss Holcomb. You and I are still talking. Let's start over. Walk me through the process. Show me where it's going. Seems we've got a guest.
God damn it.
Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself. You were saying, Miss Holcomb.
It's just what Bess needs is a proper refurbish. I can bandage her up and what all, but she's just old. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'll do better.
And I do wish you'd stop referring to our cannery as Bess. Personification of company property is strictly contrary to the Spacer's Choice Code of Conduct. My apologies. I am not in the habit of allowing my guests to witness such a row. Now, what can I do for you? I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform. Yes, so it dawns on me. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through. I understand. Your business is your own. Nonetheless, you are welcome in our little outpost. Outsiders are a rare sight in the Vale. If you are a freelancer, then I have use for you. There is pay to be earned, or supplies to tide you over, as you prefer.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process. My proposition benefits the both of us. Please, hear me out. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way. I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there. No, I do not imagine they will be pleased. But like a parent disciplining an unruly child, you will be doing them a kindness. The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home. Good law, no, I don't want you killing anyone, least of all them. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town. Adelaide's older than the other deserters. She's dignified, kindly. From what I understand, her camp looks to her for leadership. That reason was me. I asked too much and pushed too hard. But I am ready to make amends if they are willing to return to the fold. We belong to one community, the Spacer's Choice family. If we dissolve into factions, then we will all perish separately. Adelaide will understand that.
My dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I could come in useful. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to you. You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
Ayo, companions. Don't look at me like that.
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk.
Alright, get over here. No!
Hey, mister, can we talk? Sorry. Got a sec? Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale. To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left. Life's hard here, especially for them that don't fit in so well. We're one big Spacer's Choice family, but every family's got the one the rest whisper about. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is. The mission's on the east side of town. You can't miss it, on account of it being the only clean thing. Thanks, mister. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad used to say anyways.
Who's your dad? I want to know about your dad. Wrong way. Fuck that. No. East side of town, right? East. Yep. I guess I'm east.
I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
Really?
Something you need? That's on account of how I never met her. She was in another division of the Spacer's Choice family. She worked in the Vale a few months, sorting the cannery computers. Her contract said any kids she had, expected or not, belonged to her office from the time of conception. So when I was born, I got sent here. Well, I don't know about normal. Dad said she worked under some kind of special contract. It's sensible. Dad just fixed machines. She did some kind of crazy math, high-level stuff. Better to raise me on his time than hers. You mean about the mission being too clean? I know, but Vicker says the universe is a machine, that it runs by law. Real machines have gunked up oil, scratches, and worn bits. You can tell they've seen handling, been used by folk. The machine Vicker sees is one ain't never been run. It's not for people to live in. It's something on a museum shelf, under glass. Fixing the universe is a job for somebody way better than the likes of me.
But seriously, she's definitely one who will find anything wrong with something and want to fix it. You.
Yes, what is it? You're an outsider. Fantastic. Vicar Maximilian de Soto at your service. Or Vicar Max if you're the sort who prefers brevity.
Hey.
And Ms. Holcomb as well. How rare to see you out. And with a complete stranger. Curious.
Just tagging along, Vicar DeSoto. Don't mind me.
I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison, anything at all. Spiritual counseling, this season's tossball predictions, the quickest way out of town.
Oh, shit.
Not to put too fine a point on it, but your choice of wardrobe is not precisely common hereabouts. Also, you lack the distinctive worker gaze. Usually either a deadening behind the eyes, or in some rare cases, a wild-eyed frenzy, like a trapped animal.
Oh, jeez.
Pretty universal here. Except for Ms. Holcomb, who, for some reason, doesn't seem to have much to say to me. Isn't that right?
It's just... there's more to it all than numbers. Sorry.
I'm simply bemoaning the level of spiritual awareness in this town.
It sounds like you're terrible at your job, Vicar. Vicar?
Yes, but there are few who hear me in this miserable place. I must double my efforts to elevate my flock. These are good, hard-working people here. Yes, and thank you for pointing it out. It is wrong of me to succumb to distress. This place could be so much more, and I will continue in my quest to make it so. They who are not satisfied with their work are satisfied with nothing. No? How about, work fortifies the spirit. True exhaustion awaits idle hands. Selling? No. It is free for all who seek it. I'm sorry you don't find these tried and true words of wisdom to your liking. The OSI teaches that the Grand Architect set a perfect system in motion at the beginning of time. Contentment is found by accepting one's role in that grand plan. The Order of Scientific Inquiry, also known as scientism to the layperson.
Sounds like a technocracy, but on steroids.
You don't talk to the Grand Architect. Once the universe was set in motion, it stepped back. It has no concern for us. We will eventually decode the plan and all its intricacies. Once we are able to deduce the properties of every particle in the universe and its trajectory, we will know everything. The future, the past, each person's place within the plan, all will be laid out before us, removing struggle and bringing peace. No one will ever need question their path again.
I'm Wikipedia.
Some even believe this ultimate knowledge will unlock mankind's true potential, and we will all become akin to Grand Architects ourselves, after a fashion. Well, first there's the matter of the secret blood rites and animal sacrifices. I'm kidding.
Motherfucker.
Seriously, though, to truly understand the metaphysics involved takes years of study and contemplation.
But what? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the floor, answer in single words, and slink away. I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. What has Mr. Thompson asked you to do? depriving them of safety from the marauders and wildlife. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk. They rejected the order of society and live beyond the walls so thoughtfully provided by our Spacer's Choice patrons. Does that strike you as a responsible life choice? Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold. Not if things are left to stand as they are. If you don't mind a bit of unsolicited advice, be cautious on your way to the geothermal plant. It is not as safe as you might assume. One of the reasons I transferred here was to fulfill my duty in hunting down banned heretical texts. I happen to know such a book is, as we speak, tainting a collector's library in Emerald Vale. However, the collector's residence lies outside the town's walls. My retrieval efforts have been thwarted by marauders who have overrun the property. Should you fare better than me, I'd pay a handsome sum for the book. I just want to keep the writing out of layman's hands. It wouldn't do for such information to fall into public consumption. It's a handwritten journal, a faded blue cover with the name M'Bakono handwritten in the lower corner. I'll mark where I saw it on your map. Assuming you're serious? It is not only a beautiful relic of a bygone time, it's also the thoughts of an early thinker on the nature of man's place in the cosmos. Not many in this colony could understand its true value, should they ever read it.
Watch me like...
Thank you. If you retrieve it, you can always find me here.
What happens if I pick the intelligence option? Hi.
Where are we headed?
Which part? God damn it. Yeah, that's not a door. Do you know what would happen if I had enough intelligence to answer the question? I hate having not enough requirements to fix something. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Lava almost looks like a goddamn road.
Here they come! Ah!
fast though. That's just making me ridiculously curious. Tarmac machines. Tartarus.
Where are we headed?
I want to give her stuff. I really want to give her stuff. What's he do?
I'm on my way.
Jesus Christ, frames. Please catch up. What's a good way to do that? Because I need to find stronger stuff and I'm getting my ass owned. Really? Is it that low? Hold up. How about now? Did it just all of a sudden get lower or 2-hour energy? Wow. Ah, sometimes the game is like that. Don't know what I'm collecting, but whatever the fuck, bro. Fuck's up here. Just a really nice view. Is that back of it? Such a saber. Okay. Oh. If I could jump up these, I could get a secret way in. And I could have been stealthy. Are you fucking taking damage, Poverty? Still the same objective? This is the journal was last business residents was part of a small community. How much of my... You're okay. Fucking poverty. Oh, do you have shit? I think I'll take it. I think I'll put that on. Hey, I can give her shit. $131. This one is 73, 72. Enjoy that shit. Wish I could give you 30. Oh wait, hold up. Do I have a helmet I can use? Armor man. Check her AI. Where's your special? Okay. Let's see. This is 3, 4, 4 armor. That's low pressure helmet. Hibernate. Spacious Choice made the hibernation suit? Fucking what? I did that. We shall not.
You hiding?
Watch out!
Kill them!
Bang! Did your head just say bye-bye? Food worth. Food worth. Man, resources are limited. Shit, it's almost- What's the problem? What up?
Where are we headed?
Any questions? No. You are as interesting as no one else, even myself. Nope. Oh, what the fuck? Codex. Oh yeah, I gotta fucking repair this shit. Interesting. Okay, let's see. Mixed ranged. Yeah, I'll keep it this way. Yeah, I can't. Whoa. Are you talking about the things in the bottom corner? Attack this person, walk over here, whatever C is. Looks nice for a pretty shitty town. Time of the day is it? Yeah, I need some time.
Any progress on that matter we discussed? Wonderful. This is fantastic. Well worth all the sacrifices I... Wait. What the fuck is this? Is this French? I can't fucking read French.
Oh god, bro.
It's a law-forsaken joke is what it is. French! Ha! I was so high and mighty, preaching to the yokels about following the plan, while fighting it at every turn. Well, yes. But I assure you, it was not for personal gain, only for the greater good. I've spent my life searching for the keys to unlocking the secrets of the universal equation that underlies the plan. I had hoped this book held some of those answers. I became so desperate, I even got myself assigned to this plague-ridden backwater to find the damn thing. All the time and suffering I've spent. Wasted. Bakono, the author, had some interesting theories about man's perception of reality that I thought could be applied to our attempts to decipher the plan. Unfortunately, he was also one of the founders of the Philosophist school of thought, so the book is banned in this colony. Philosophism's a false religion that stands in contradiction to almost everything we know to be true. They believe all is chaos, in stark contrast to OSI's belief in the plan. But most of the Philosophist perversion of Bakono's thoughts came more than a century after his death. The story of my life. Most lay people are not aware of this, but we've not discovered any new insights into the plan for a long time. I had an idea that we should welcome the truth, no matter where we found it. I had the worse idea to share my thoughts with a superior. And that's how I ended up assigned prison duty, where I was fool enough to let an inmate bend my ear with stories of an original Bakono journal. But that's neither here nor there. What I need to do now is to find a translator, obviously. But to do that, I'll first need to secure transport. You have a ship. Perhaps I could make myself of use to your crew. Certainly. I already gave you most of my money, but I can offer you free spiritual counseling, and I'd be happy to watch your back. I'm pretty handy with a tossball stick, or any blunt instrument, really. I'm also a passable gun hand, if it comes to that. I can usually talk my way out of conflict, though. Oh, I'm fairly competent at hacking computers as well.
Huh?
Fantastic. Let me get my things in order and I'll catch up with you.
Edgewater's gonna miss you. Folk here always had good things to say about their vicar.
Thank you, Ms. Holcomb. I'll be glad for the change of scenery, and to leave this place behind. I shall see you on the ship, Captain, whenever you're ready to leave Emerald Vale.
Wait, what? We ain't even gonna... Fuck it. Oscars must be over. I wonder who won. What a nice breezy walk. on, bro. Anything? Yeah. Let me just check this real quick. There you go.
Here we go!
La 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 la.
Thank you. Sure, on my way. Got it. That's the last of them.
Very good, shithead. Actually, what you got? Not bad, not bad. Hello? Was I supposed to be here?
Okay, gone quiet.
Are these modifications permanent? Restricted stock. Where is my inhaler? Spacer's chaw. Energy, heavy, light. What is that? 300? Yeah. Let's not buy too much. Let's go for 5. Where's that thing where I breathe in this shit? Made it to space. Ooh. Bunch of nanners. Buy quests.
It's not the best choice. It's Spacer's choice.
Great work.
Can I use any of these tools? inventory's full yet. Ooh, that's a heavy ammo there. Don't mind me. Get back, come on, move. No more. Oh, look at that. Didn't see me at all. Pre-sliced bread. Pre-sliced bread, bro. Alright, well that's all fine and dandy. I shall... God damn it. It's just a huge explosive. They at least kept
Move
lights on.
along, stranger. We don't want any trouble. I don't know you. Whatever you're looking for, it ain't here. Move along. Answers, huh? You must be one of those philosophicals.
Wait.
Already got ourselves one of those.
Already got ourselves one of those.
Yeah, that's us. And you can tell Thompson we're doing just fine by ourselves. If you're gonna start wandering around my camp, know that I got my sights on you. Aegea what? Look, plants ain't my purview. You're better off asking after Adelaide. Enough with the questions. No offense, but I've got a lot on my mind. You don't know what enough with the questions means? No, I'm sorry. That was unworthy of me. Lady named Zoe went missing some nights ago. Just up and vanished without a trace. Now I'm pacing around wondering if marauders got to her. I go looking for Zoe, I leave the camp undefended, seeing as I'm the only one of us who knows her way around a gun. Hence my dilemma. Vex me. If she told anybody, they ain't telling me. I'd check her room, but I got yelled at for snooping once already. Little ways ago, she was always obsessing over her serial dramas. Wanted to see what the fuss was about. It's not like Zoe to go wandering. Figured she might be out scavenging, but that ain't exactly her talent. Can't imagine where she's gone. Vale's a wide place. She could be anywhere.
Let's not
Appreciate
give that
it.
answer.
Honest. Over in the hothouse, tending crop. I'll tell you what I can. Well, enough to know we never got on. Zoe and Stefan were close. If anybody knows the workings of her mind, he does. She was lazy and thoughtless, but she's still one of our own. Could be. Dangers aplenty out there. No telling why marauders would steal somebody like Zoe. Got no useful skill as far as I could tell. Marauder gang just moved into the districts a little ways east. Their numbers are growing. Gotta come from somewhere. What is it?
I forget you're still wearing that weird helmet.
Where are we headed?
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear?
Oh no.
I have been called that, among other things. Green Thumb, grandmother, the strange old lady who keeps flowers.
Yeah.
But yes, Adelaide will do just fine.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you?
Robert.
I remember when you were but a sprout. Thomas speaks of you often.
What?
Are you staying long? You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old spittoon, but it's been cleaned. Reed Thompson, you here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then? Make amends. Spare me. Only thing Reed knows how to make is a mess. Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves. He would do such a thing. Question is, why would you agree to his plans? Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip them out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid.
I could do that.
Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery.
Now.
Seems the sort of thing a hero would do. A hero to the people who matter. To us. To the ones who come around. To the ones you save. Reed will never understand.
He has been too long inebriated on the wine of corporate culture. All he sees is productivity, output, profits. Life in Edgewater grinds to a halt. The cannery shuts down, workers desert in droves, and our own little camp grows and thrives. You bring power to Reed's town and you'll be killing us. Reed knows it. He's counting on it. You've seen that miserable excuse for a town with your own lamps. Hollowed out workers laboring their lives away at the cannery, living off whatever scraps Spacer's Choice throws them. You know that's true, don't you, Ms. Holcomb? Your father died of overwork. His heart gave out.
He was tired all the time, sure, but he was old, ma'am, and he raised me all by his lonesome.
Look what they did to this child. Lost her family to the company, and still she defends them.
I'm all right. I ain't so fragile.
That was unkind of me. I'm sorry, dear. It's not much of a living. Every single person in that town has sold themselves to Spacer's Choice. The company owns them. Body, blood, and bones. You've been there. You've seen it. All anyone ever does is toil over a cannery. They give their lives for some heartless corporation, and then they're tossed into a Spacer's Choice brand cemetery. So, what do you say? Divert power over to us. Shut down that abominable cannery for good. I trust you will listen to your conscience.
Oh shit. Bark is for you! Yeah, let's just give you more health. I want to save this. I want to save botanicals, but I have to get the power thingy from the cannery then. Which is gonna be a bitch.
Oh, that's Thomas. He used to follow me around before he left the cannery.
If you're hungry, Stefan's got supplies.
Where's Stefan? Where's Stefan? Hi. Stefan.
You hungry? We got canid ribs, canid flank, canid snout too.
Cool.
Something I can help you with? You mean Zoe? Yeah, we were pretty close. Not like her to go loping off. Zoe and I were gonna watch the serials, as is our custom. She never turned up. I looked around, but she was nowhere to be found. You sound like some type of corporate fixer asking all these questions. Zoe was always obsessed with this serial. Masked Marketeer. A scion of Byzantium turns to banditry and teaches his marauder companions the wisdom of free market economics. Shame she up and vanished when she did. I had a surprise lined up for her. Can't say I recall Zoe ever acting strange. Well, except for her habit of writing things down on scraps of paper. She called it journaling, but I think it's just plain odd.
Oh, come on.
Hey, I got time. I'll help if I can. The other day, I got my hands on a genuine copy of the latest Masked Marketeer. I was gonna surprise Zoe with it, but she was gone the next day.
The Caped Capitalist. The Masked Marketeer. What the ever living fuck? Hi. Don't mind me. That sucks. Cuckoo!
What is it? I'll tell you what I can. What is it?
Let the frames catch up.
Got it! Eyes up! Can't get past that armor!
Wait, is she actually dead? Almost had it too. Projectile venom gland. It's pretty deep back at the throat. What the fuck? Let's go.
If you're hungry, Stefan's got supplies.
I'm on it. Here we go.
Can we just like let the frames catch up? What the fuck is going on? Why are my frames like absolute garbage?
Can't get past that armor.
this motherfucker get the best of me. I can make out of that.
Heads down.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know anybody who ever came out this far.
Wow. You take everything from me? No, I will not. Hang on. Oh, well done.
Okay, calm quiet. I don't know anybody who ever came out this far.
I wonder, any way that I can get to her without, like, harming anyone? Alright, you little piece of shit.
Wow, you crossed them all off, like some sort of heroic accountant running down a list. Teach me your ways.
Fucking Zoe!
Oh, well that's a shame. I mean, I could pay you in Adrena time, but I've already bartered most of my stash over to these poor saps. You, on the other hand, you were a sight to behold. If I had half your skills, I'd be the greatest outlaw the coast has ever seen. Why? Adelaide wants me back on garden duty or something? Thanks, but I'm not going anywhere. This is where I belong.
They're all dead, though.
I'm great at clarifying.
No, you're not.
No. I insinuated myself into their company, see? And they didn't seem to mind one whit. I may have bartered them a few boxes of Adrena time, but yeah, I'm sure that's got nothing to do with it.
You got a few boxes?
I don't know. The vital processes that constitute the miracle of life are mysterious and unknowable.
Bullshit.
Oh, you mean around these guys? The Marauders wouldn't hurt me. They love me. I'm practically their queen. Yeah, must be my natural charisma.
Yeah, okay, sure.
I got kicked out of Edgewater on account of falling sick with plague and stealing some medicine to treat myself. I'd heard some outlaws set up camp in the botanical labs. I decided to throw in with them, seeing as I always wanted to be an outlaw myself.
Wanted to be an outlaw.
Instead,
Cute.
what do I find?
Fucking cute.
But a bunch of former workers camped out around a greenhouse. I couldn't just go back to the cannery, so I was stuck with them.
So you still wanted to go?
I've got all the time in Halcyon. I doubt that. Nobody in that camp really cared about me. Wait, you're telling me he's got a copy of the Masked Marketeer? Why didn't you say so? I'll take my stuff and head on back, I suppose. Grace is gonna be glaring knives at me, so I've got that to look forward to.
That's gonna be great.
I'm great at clarifying.
Shut up. Oh, nothing. Fuck you. Wait, do these explode? That they do.
I wish I could do that.
Oh, just have a shit ton of lockpicks. You'll be fine. What the fuck is this? Did I just get money? I got money! Okay. Hi, dead person. Fire ammunition. Fire ammunition. Yeah. I guess. What do you want? Adrena. Mock apple. Who's health? Ugh. Is anything for you? I did. Oh,
What is it?
alright, easy.
We didn't always get along, but I'm glad to know she's safe. What happened anyway?
Should I lie?
You pretty much did my job for me. Least I could do is pay you for your trouble. Let me know if I can do something for you.
Alright, with that, I am going to end the stream. I don't know why this has been such shitty frames, but other than that, I'm really enjoying what this game has to offer. I did not like that. That's so much stuff. Need a lot of heavy. Tremor cleaver. Let's see, 73. 80. No. Oh shit. Chloric! That's so cute. Let's see. So I don't have to recharge or anything? Not a bad idea. What can I get here? I already have one of the best things I've ever seen in a while. I'm gonna sell all these small pistols. There's so many. Alright, I'm gonna see y'all later. Bye.